Your husband said, I did. Why did you do that? Now you start to fight with your husband. Just that simple, because you're not mindful enough to look on the road. Is that right? And then when you react, and then your husband also reacts, it burned up the whole house. That's how you run your day and your family's day. That's simple. How can we have peace? That is always where the problem started from, in that house. And if we not be able to manage our emotions and our feelings, that is going to happen every single day for the rest of our life. Are we willing to do that, to live like that? Well, that is the reason why I gave up that late life. We're seeing all those suffering things within the family. I really don't want to. And of course, now that I show you the way, I show you what happened, and you should take this into action for right now, seriously, in order for us to have peace. And in order for us to have peace and get all those things happen, we have to be mindful. And practicing mindfulness is something that we finish big time. We do not breathtaking. We breathe. We breathe in and out every second. That is why this is alive. But then we never pay attention to our breath. We just breathe and breathe just like a robot, like a machine. We probably don't even know how long or how short our breath is. Right? So all we need to do is just have awareness. Each and every breath going in and out. That's it. Each breath going in, you have awareness to it. Knowing that breath going in, the breath going out, add awareness to it. Knowing that breath going out by the nostril, in and out right here, just right here by the nostril area. As long as you know that breath going in and knowing that breath going out. Just like that. But remember, don't force your breath. Just breathe in and out naturally. The way you breathe right now. When you breathe in, aware of that breath going in. Just stay focused by this nostril area only. And then breathe out, knowing that breath going out. Now the monkey might pop up. Remember that monkey that I mentioned earlier? That monkey mind means all those thoughts. The old things, the bad habits, the suffering things, the past and the future. It's always recorded. Whatever we have done is recorded in our mind. Just like a hard drive of a computer. After it's recorded, now when the right conditions arise to come, all those thoughts will pop up. It's popping up every single time. It's just that we are too busy to see it. Doing something else, that's why we cannot see it. Now that we focus in our breath, we only have one job to do, which is concentrate in here, within our breath. That is how you can see your thought. When you see that thought popping up, we don't need to try to eliminate it or push it away. Instead, we just observe that thought, acknowledge that thought by saying silently, thought, 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 after you observe it. And then come back here with the breathing. And then breathe in, breathe out, another thought pop up. Observe that, acknowledge that, thought, 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 come back here again. Keep bringing your concentration back to the present moment, which is each and every breath that we need. That is how we train ourselves to live in this present moment. In here, in now. We don't need to leave any place because it's already past. It's already become a history. We will not change it. We don't need to chase the future. We only need to live for this present moment here. Just breathe in and breathe out without awareness. But just come back here. Train ourselves to come back to this present moment. And now if we hear any type of noise, any type of sound, don't try to ask who, what, where, why. Just acknowledge it, observe that sound, acknowledge it as sound, sound, sound. Come back here with the breathing again. If you feel any sensation within this face, within this body, acknowledge it. Itchy, 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 come back here. Numb, pain, come back here. Acknowledge it and come back here. Train ourselves how to come back to this present moment with each and every breath going in and out. That's all we need to do. Come back, come back, come back. Just like when you see the monk walk, you pause a moment to look at the monks. That is when you come back within to see yourself, to reflect yourself between the images of the monks walking, mindfulness, peacefully, while you are rushing and rushing and rushing. Right? That's how you reflect yourself. That is when you pause, when you stop from doing anything. Just look at the monk. Right at that moment, you are at peace. And if you train ourselves like this every single day, do not multitask yourself. Don't eat and watch a movie and talking on the phone at the same time. When you're washing dishes, just focus if you're washing dishes. No music at the same time with washing dishes. When you walk, just simply walk without your lovers on your hand. When you go to the toilet, simply just go to the toilet without your lover. It's because you always bring your lover to the toilet. That is why you spend hours in the toilet. You in the toilet and talking with the lover at the same time. That's why you. That's why many of Americans get constipation. So we need to stop all this. Okay? No lovers in the toilet. Lock your lover up. Put in the drawer. Walk into that toilet. Do your thing. Wash your hand. And then come right out. You don't know how many people are waiting outside for their turn. You don't know. So you need to let go of that lover at that moment. Okay? Sacrifice yourself from that lover just to do your part in the toilet and then finish it. Please. That is how you train yourself to stay focused. Because the more you use this, the more sidetracked you get. A lot of things in it that can pull you off track right away. Is that right? Okay, so with all that I share, are you willing to change your life from here or not? Yes. I can hear you. Yes. It means that you will take this into action. We are not talking about just a talk anymore, right? Yes. Starting from today and tomorrow, you have to take a piece of paper and a pen out to write that statement down, right? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, you promise, right? Yes. This is how you walk together with the Venerable Monks. In spirit. And please make sure. When you see the Venerable Monks walk out there on the road, please don't follow them. Imagine all of you holding your lover, point straight to our face. Everywhere we go. Well, we say that we call this is a walk for peace. Is that peace or not? Of course not. It creates chaos. Okay? It creates chaos. Look before we do something. Look around before we do anything. Alongside of the road, there are so many people patiently standing in the cold waiting for the monks to come. And then we walk on the side with the monks, rushing through that crowd while they patiently waiting for the venerable monks to come, just for them to pay respect, just for them to see the monks once in a lifetime. And we ruin that whole serenity. We create chaos and we create not a nice movement to the people and the venerable monks. We create unwholesome deed for ourselves. That is not loving yourself. Remember that, okay? And then when you try to offer something to the venerable monks, please always remember, don't push around. And don't try to squeeze the monk from two sides of the road. You stay where you are. The venerable monks come. If you be able to offer, that's great. If you're not, like I already mentioned many times, we accept your heart. We receive your wholeheartedly offerings already. It doesn't matter if you give those flowers to the monks or not. But if the more you try to push the people, try to rush to the monk, just to hand to the monk of water, a flower, or anything, that creates chaos. Okay? It's not nice for you, it's not nice for the monks, it's not nice for the others as well. So always look around, always have peace. Means you always have to stay calm. Patience and calm is the key to have peace. Without this, again, we keep rushing again. We are chasing that world out there. The world is moving very fast now. And we are doing this, keep on chasing after it. We cannot have peace. This is the year of 2026. Over a month passed already. We don't have much time left. I encourage you and I advise you, stop all those things that we have been doing for many years. Change from here to have a better life, to have a better world for all of us to live. Together we can change this world. Remember, together, all human beings in this world are doing this together. Walk in spirit like that, means practice like that every single day. We are the world, the peacemaker. All of us are peacemaker, not just the venerable monks. You have to do your part, we have to do our part. And we are coming together to do this one thing, to bring peace to this world. To bring peace to this world means we make this world to be a better place for our future generations to live and for ourselves to live. Can we all do this together? Can we support this? Yes! Thank you so much. May you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. Once again, when you go home, please be mindful when you drive. Be mindful on each and every step you make from here, where you stand right now. Trying to get to your car. Try to get to the line and wait for the monks. Be mindful on each and every step. Because with one step, not mindful, unmindful, you could ruin your day. Okay?
Thank you.
It means that you waste your whole day to coming out here and only bring stress and sadness home. We don't want that. We have to bring peace and joy and happiness home. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. How inspiring was that? Please be mindful in the spirit of mindfulness as the monks depart the temple. The police will pay you a path so that they can come back to Route 1 where they came in from.
we will pass out the peace bracelet for you all. Okay, and our police officer will arrange this to give it out the peace bracelet. But please be mindful and don't ask for pictures while we're giving out the peace bracelet, because there are so many people waiting. We would love for everyone to have one to bring home. Thank you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the vulnerable monks in 2 different locations. We're going to have some over there and some over here. Everybody will have an opportunity to get a peace bracelet. Thank you so much, and may peace be with you.
It is easy to love the idea of peace. We love the pageantry of it, the feeling of shared purpose when we gather in large crowds, the visual solidarity of a march or a vigil. We are willing to sit in traffic for hours, patiently inching our cars forward, just to be part of something that feels larger than ourselves. We stand in long lines that snake around city blocks, waiting for a chance to hear a message of hope. We endure the heat, the standing, and the waiting because, deep down, we are all starving for a better way to live. But there is a challenging question that arises once the speeches end and the crowds disperse. What happens when we go home? If we treat a peace walk like a concert or a parade, a fleeting moment of entertainment or emotional high, we have missed the point entirely. A concert is something you consume. Peace is something you must generate. If we listen to the most inspiring words in the world but return to our living rooms and resume our old habits of anger, judgment, and distraction, then the long drive and the hours of waiting were just a way to pass the time. The true walk does not happen on the asphalt of the street, it happens in the quiet, often difficult terrain of the human heart. The invitation is not just to show up for a day, but to wake up for a life. The real work begins not when we are cheering in a crowd, but when we are alone, tired, and tested by the friction of everyday existence. This call to inner work is not born out of a naive optimism, but from a sober witnessing of the world as it is. We do not need to look far to see that suffering is the universal language of our time. Whether in the food bank lines of Fort Worth, Texas, where families who once felt secure found themselves suddenly bereft of jobs and stability during the pandemic, or in the disaster-stricken villages of Africa, the story is the same. Loss does not discriminate. Grief does not check your bank account before it visits. We live in a world that is constantly spinning, a world that seems determined to throw lemons at us with relentless velocity. We often labor under the delusion that if we can just fix the external circumstances, if we can just get the right job, the right leader, the right economy, then we will be at peace. But the world will continue to spin. It will continue to deliver challenges that are beyond our control. If our internal world is as chaotic as the external one, we are defenseless. True self-love, then, is not about spa days or treats. It is about building an internal sanctuary that the spinning world cannot touch. It is the discipline of protecting our own emotional well-being so that when the lemons come, we do not turn sour. We cannot stop the storm, but we can ensure that the house of our mind is built on a foundation that does not collapse at the first gust of wind. Yet, instead of building this sanctuary, most of us spend our lives frantic and exhausted, running a race that has no finish line. We are like the monkey in the cornfield, a parable that perfectly captures the modern American condition. Imagine a monkey who breaks into a field of corn. He is so excited, so overwhelmed by the abundance, that he grabs a cob with one hand and tucks it under his arm. Then he sees another, grabs it, and tucks it under the other arm. But as he reaches for a third, he drops the first. He scrambles to pick it up, dropping the second. In his frantic greed to possess everything, he tramples the entire field, snapping stalks and ruining the harvest. When he finally leaves the field, exhausted and panting, he holds only 1 or 2 ears of corn. He has destroyed so much potential nourishment for a reward that is meager at best. Are we not the same? We grasp at careers, relationships, status, and material possessions, thinking that more is the answer to our emptiness. We rush through our days, trampling the gentle moments of connection with our families, ruining the field of our own lives in a desperate bid to accumulate things we don't even need. We reach the end of our days holding so little, perhaps a bit of money, a bit of fame, but we have lost the vast, beautiful potential of a peaceful life. We have very little time and energy in this human experience. Why spend it damaging the field? Why spend it running when we could be walking gently? This frantic grasping doesn't just exhaust us, it silences the most vulnerable part of ourselves. Inside each of us, there is an inner child that has been crying out for attention for years. This isn't just a psychological concept, it is the part of us that feels, that needs safety, that needs to be held. But we are too busy being productive. We ignore that inner voice, pushing it down with distractions, scrolling, and busyness. We abandon ourselves every single day. The tragedy is that this self-abandonment doesn't stop with us. We pass it on like a genetic inheritance. When we live with chronic stress, anxiety, and frustration, we are teaching our children that this is what being a human looks like. Our children are incredibly perceptive. They don't just listen to what we say. They absorb who we are. If they see us constantly on edge, constantly reacting, they learn that the world is an unsafe place where peace is impossible. Do we really want to bequeath them our anxiety? Do we want them to grow up thinking that life is a battlefield? The greatest legacy we can leave is not financial wealth, but a modeled example of peace. If we want them to have a better life, we must first have the courage to live a better life ourselves. We must heal the parent to save the child. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we stop the monkey from trampling the field? It begins with a ritual so simple it almost seems too small to matter. Yet it holds the power to rewire our entire day. It starts the moment you wake up, before you reach for your phone to check the news, before you let the world rush in with its demands. You take a physical piece of paper and a pen. You sit down and write one sentence. Today is going to be my peaceful day. This is not just a wish, it is a vow. And the act of writing it by hand is crucial. We have become a species of typists, our fingers tapping endlessly on glass screens and plastic keys, disconnected from the physical reality of creating words. When you pick up a pen, you might find it feels strange, perhaps even uncomfortable, because your hand has forgotten the art of gripping a tool of creation. That discomfort is a sign that you are waking up. As you form the letters, you are engaging your hand, your eyes, and your mind in a single, unified act of intention. You are training yourself to focus. You are telling the universe, and more importantly, your own subconscious, that you have set a boundary. You are declaring that no matter what the world throws at you today, no matter the traffic, the rude emails, the spilled coffee, you have already decided who you will be. You have anchored yourself before the storm begins. But the true test of this vow comes when you leave the safety of your morning ritual and step out into the friction of the world. Peace is easy when you are alone with a pen. It is much harder when someone steps on your toe. Imagine you are standing in line, perhaps at the grocery store or a crowded event, and someone behind you pushes you or steps on your heel. In that split second, a biological reaction occurs. You feel a heat in your chest, a sudden, sharp fire. This is the moment of choice. The habit of the world tells us to spin around with bullet eyes, to glare at the offender, to let that fire rise up and burn us alive. We think we are punishing them with our anger, but we are only barbecuing ourselves. We are the ones whose hearts race. We are the ones whose peace is shattered. Mindfulness offers a different possibility. In that pause between the sensation of the pain and the reaction of the anger, you can choose to turn around not with bullet eyes, but with a question. Are you okay? You can choose to check on the humanity of the other person. Perhaps they stumbled because they are tired. Perhaps they are rushing because they are worried. By meeting their clumsiness with kindness, you extinguish the fire in your own chest. You refuse to let a momentary accident ruin the sanctuary you built this morning. You remain the master of your own emotional house. Ultimately, This practice brings us back to the fundamental truth that underpins all of this, our radical, undeniable connectedness. When we strip away the labels of politics, religion, nationality, and history, we are left with the biological reality that we are all the same. We all have red blood pumping through our veins. We all know the taste of fear. We all have eyes that weep and hearts that break. The person who cuts you off in traffic, the person who disagrees with you, the stranger in the crowd, they are fighting the same battle against suffering that you are. We cannot change history. The wounds of the past are deep, and many have sacrificed their lives so that we could have the freedom to walk these streets today. But we cannot live in the past. We must honor those sacrifices by moving forward, by healing the wounds with the medicine of loving kindness. We must realize that peace is not a destination we walk toward, it is the way we walk. It is available to us in every breath, every step, and every interaction. So, let us not just go home from the peace walk. Let us carry the walk home with us. Let us write our vows, protect our peace, and treat one another with the gentle recognition that we are, in the end, walking each other home.